time just saying, no, I don't know you, I don't want to do this, I shouldn't be here.
2 years ago, Kelly Binder says she was drugged and raped by a man she met at a bar in downtown Denver.
He physically restrained me. And while he was raping me, I said no.
Within hours of the assault, Binder contacted Denver police, who recommended she go to the hospital for a rape kit.
You're laying on this white sheet under these bright lights, every intimate part, taking photographs and pulling hair out of your head.
Binder says the process felt like a second assault.
The experience was just a nightmare.
The rape kit was given to police, but weeks later, Binder says Denver police told her they couldn't prove she didn't give consent, telling her her rape kit would not be tested to see if her attacker raped anyone else.
I was raped. This man raped me, and they did nothing. They did nothing at all.
I was scared, I was confused.
2 years ago, a night Michelle wishes she could forget.
There are parts I very vividly remember, but there are also parts that I had to blink out.
She was 16 years old, traveling with her classmates back to high school in Garfield County. But bad weather canceled their flight, forcing them to spend the night in a Denver hotel.
One of the boys bought alcohol, and we drank, and I'd never drinking before.
That night, Michelle says 2 boys she thought were her friends held her down and raped her.
I was crying, and at one point one of them said, maybe we should stop, I feel like we're raping her. And the other guy, he just responded, no, she's just a virgin, so she's emotional, she'll be fine.
3 days later, she reported the attack to the Garfield County Sheriff's Department, who transferred the case to Denver police. But that's when Michelle says the investigation seemed to stall.
No one, as far as I know, contacted any of the witnesses that I had. When I spoke to a detective once, and I was pretty much told that there wasn't much that could be done.
1 year later, she received the call. The Denver District Attorney's Office had declined to prosecute her case.
That was devastating for me.
And she's not alone. The Call 7 investigators analyzed the Denver DA's own data, finding Denver declines to prosecute 36% of all felony cases presented by police. And when it comes to felony sexual assaults, 71% are declined.
I know what victims deserve. I've been doing this for 30 years.
For months, through emails and phone calls, we requested an on-camera interview with Denver District Attorney Mitch Morrissey.
We've tried for 5 months to interview with you.
More than happy to talk to you off camera.
Each time, he refused, so we found him outside of work.
More than happy to talk to you off camera, answer any questions that you have.
But when we met in the District Attorney's office for the off-camera discussion, Morrissey and his spokeswoman had a camera of their own.
So we can document the conversation.
So then why can't we document the conversation?
Do you want to have this conversation or not?
Well, we're just trying to make sure that we're on the same page.
We're on the same page. We're off camera, we're on camera. If you don't want to do it this way, then I got other things to do. So it's up to you.
We obtained their video through open records laws so you could hear Morrissey's explanation for deciding not to prosecute hundreds of cases.
Well, we don't do it based on statistics. We do it on a case-by-case analysis.
Then the question is, why are so many individual cases not being accepted?
Well, we review the cases with a standard of a reasonable likelihood of conviction.
Morrissey never agreed to sit down for our on-camera interview, but told us comparing jurisdictions is meaningless, especially when Denver has a quarter of the violent crime in Colorado.
Did you sell this car?
I did not.
You did not sell this car?
No.
There's a lot Joe Robinson can't remember.
Wait, so you did sell this car?
Yes.
Like how long he had this 2003 Honda CR-V.
How many days later did you sell it?
3 weeks, 2 weeks.
How about a day?
No, not a day.
And then it was a day.
So it was 1 day between the time you bought it and the time you sold it?
Yes, I'd say 16 hours.
Wait, let's back up.
Here we go.
This is Bill McKinney.
Well, I kind of freaked out.
He found that same car on Craigslist. The miles were low and the price was right, so he says he bought it from Joe Robinson. On the ride home, the odometer jumped from 77,000 miles to 177,000.
I thought, oh no, I've been ripped off.
Bill filed a report with Lakewood Police and kept investigating on his own. According to this receipt,
And that's your handwriting, your signature?
Yes.
Joe bought the car for $1,000. It had 230,000 miles. But one day later, when he sold the car to Bill for $6,000, that same odometer read 77,000 miles.
Called the guy immediately, didn't answer my call. I texted him, told him I don't want this car. It's had odometer fraud.
The Call 7 investigators found odometer fraud is more common than you'd think. Colorado is in the top 10 for percentage of rollbacks in the country.
I'm surprised the miles are that low on this.
Yeah.
We found a potential rollback at a used car dealership, too. At Century Auto in Lakewood, this 1996 Audi A6 appeared to have low miles.
And it has low miles, has 145.
We checked. Records show the car's odometer may have been rolled back years ago by a previous owner. It had 210,000 miles in 2005, then later only 84,000.
I'm Kelly Rabon with 7 News.
Okay.
So we went back to the dealership.
Are you selling cars with rolled back odometers?
No, absolutely not.
He refused to tell us if they knew it was a rollback or if it was disclosed to the buyer as required by law.
Why won't you talk to us?